Hi, welcome back to Phoenix Rising Reacts, the podcast. I'm Lee,
And I'm Ash.
and we are back for another week. We'd like to apologize for the pause in our recordings. I was sick for quite a while there, and we are just now getting back into the swing. So you can expect us to be back on Tuesdays. Um, but wanted to go ahead and apologize for any of you guys that are wondering what the heck they were posting and then just stopped. We've not gone anywhere. I got sick with what I'm assuming was the flu because it lasted basically almost a week.
And
And
because Lee was sick, we had a lot of catch-up work to do on our actual reaction videos.
yes,
So the days when we were going to do our podcast, we had to record videos for movies.
yeah.
So that's why we're behind on our podcast.
Yeah, so we appreciate you guys sticking with us if you're getting this and you're listening to us. And we're just really happy to be back here again and doing this again because we really enjoy this side too. This is like our not having to be in front of a camera night. So we really enjoy just getting in front and just chatting with you guys about some of our thoughts on different things and talking about some of our favorite directors and all that.
Oh, yeah, we can be chill, we can rant, we can
Yeah, right.
rave,
Right,
complain,
we can rant and
whatever.
rave, and we can I haven't yet, I've been behaving myself, but I could slam a few movies. But and again, this is purely entertainment. They always make you say stupid stuff like that, don't they? Well, you know what? We're gonna be completely genuine with you guys, and, just always keep this in mind with us. Movies are a totally personal experience. All of us have movies that we love, and all of us have movies that we hate, and whenever you watch a movie, you watch it based on your own experience and stuff like that. Like, I'll give you an example, and this is gonna be controversial because it is such a loved movie, but I absolutely do not like the very first Halloween. Now, don't get me wrong, I like all the rest of them. I like all the rest of them, but that first one, every time I watch it, it pisses me the hell off.
Now, why
And I'll
in
tell you why.
particular?
Okay,
Yeah, tell me
so
why. Yeah.
well, I'll give you a reason, okay? So you have to kinda understand my background. My background is that I have been in the legal and law enforcement community and corrections and security and all that since 1999. And as such, I have very high understanding of self-awareness, safety, taking care of yourself, all that, right? I mean, I when I go to a restaurant, for instance, I will find the seat where I can watch the room. That's just what I do. It's because that's the mindset I've been in for so many years. So going into what I said, it's all about our own perspectives and backgrounds and everything else when we can like a movie. I don't like this movie because the main character in that first one, now later on, she becomes a badass.
Oh, yeah.
But in that first one, she pisses my ass off. She is the dumbest bitch, pardon the language, guys, that I've ever seen in a movie. I mean, I think the scene that just completely just had me in a complete meltdown was whenever she, got him in the bedroom, and instead of just go ahead and keep hacking, chop his head off, whatever, you know what I'm saying? She drops the knife, goes to the doorway, sits down with her back to him. She doesn't even check if he's dead before she does this, and of course, he sits up, has the knife, and then they're running again, and I just wanted to smack the living crap out of her. It just pissed me off so much, and then you take that and you take a comparison with Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. Nancy's like, "No, man, I'm gonna get this
Oh,
guy. I'm gonna."
Nancy owned Freddy in the
Oh,
first one.
she owned
Yeah.
him in the first one. So you take and you look at the 2. To me, her complete moronic behavior, it pisses me off to a level I cannot stand that movie.
Well,
And it
she was a babysitter. I mean,
Oh, please. What do you think? Nancy was just a teenager and everything else too, and she actually had some smarts to her. I mean, you gotta be
Yeah, but she was
anyway.
dating Johnny Depp. She learned a lot from him.
Oh my god.
In the movie.
I'm just saying that's why I don't like that movie because from my legal law background and everything else and my own situational awareness, her behavior is so completely asinine. I just can't. I just
Now, I like
can't.
the movie other than that. Like,
Well,
I
yeah, the rest of it
appreciate what
was
it
I
did for the
appreciate
genre. I love the
I've
character, I
yeah.
love the music, I love the tone, it's creepy,
Yeah, I
but
agree.
again, a lot of mistakes made, and
I
it's
agree. The rest of the movie, I'm down with, but that character, I just wanna slap her, go, "Are you that stupid?" But like I said, later on, like Halloween 2,
H2O.
3, all the
Yeah.
rest of them,
Mhm.
H2O, when she comes back, I mean, she's a total badass at that point, and she's the way she probably should have been in the first one.
Mhm.
And everyone's like, "Oh, she was a teenager. What do you Please, when I was a teenager, I knew how to shoot a gun. I knew how to do a lot of stuff. That is a BS excuse for idiocy. I don't like the way they wrote the character. And
Right.
we watched a documentary on it, and it was intentional to make her look completely stupid. It was
Mm.
intentional because back then that's how they felt that female lead roles should be done. And so that's just another reason not to like it because they made all women look like a bunch of pussies.
But
Pardon the
that's
language, but I'm
no,
just saying. And so I just don't like and you guys know I love John Carpenter. I love John Carpenter, but I don't like that particular John Carpenter movie.
well, that's why for me, I can't say Halloween is his best film, because in my opinion, it's not. It was one of his best films, his earliest films, but that's why I'd say something like The Thing would
Well,
be
it's
his
more
best film.
Oh, definitely, The Thing, 100%. Well, it's the film that set his career going,
Mhm.
really. I mean,
And without
but
Halloween, we probably wouldn't have Friday the 13th. Yeah.
well, right, and so, I can appreciate it for those things, but honestly, if I'm gonna be doing a marathon of Halloween movies, I'm probably gonna skip the first one, and it's the same thing for me with the first Friday the 13th. I don't like the first Friday the 13th as much because to me, it's so different from the rest of the Friday the 13th series that I have a hard time associating it with it because the first one is really it's a mother that has become a serial killer. I mean, or a mass murderer, whichever one you wanna label her as. It's kinda like the Scream movies, that's not a supernatural being or anything like that. It's just some kids going around slashing up their classmates, for the fun of it. It's the same thing. To me, the 2 are very separate, like, those movies fall in the same categories like Silence of the Lambs, Zodiac Killer, stuff like that, in my opinion. Where else like Jason and Freddy and Chucky and all of those other ones fall more into the paranormal horror category. So to me, they're just completely separate. And those two movies, like Michael Myers at the second movie though, he's like almost paranormal in that one. He is paranormal in those in a way, so the role so it's just like the first Friday 13th and the other one, they're like their vibe, their thought, the story is so vastly different from the rest of the series. So, I mean, then that's just my opinion, and I know many people that just absolutely over the moon for it, and like I said, I love the rest of the series, I just don't like that first one. But, um, that being said, the reason why I brought up the whole deal is to give you an example of, how what we feel when we watch movies is very personalized. And so everyone's opinions on movies, in my opinion, is valid because for them, it is their truth. And so that makes it makes it valid, like when someone says such and such is the greatest movie of all time, okay, well, that's good because that's how you feel about it. It doesn't mean that it's actually the truth, but it's valid. But this kind of goes into our topic tonight because we're going to talk about this is going to be two different mindsets, okay? So the first mindset is how the Academy Awards and Oscars and all that, how they decide what's gonna be the best movie, all right? And then there is what us, the consumer, feels are the best movies. And as many of you guys know that ever watch these awards, I don't know how many of you watch. I haven't watched them in years, but I used to whenever I was a lot younger. And I can remember watching and going, "What the heck movies are these?" It was all movies that either I never heard of or there was no way in hell I was ever gonna go watch these movies. It's like, "How the hell did this win an award?" And then meanwhile, you'd have these movies that came out the same year that were blockbusters that are not even on the board. And it's just like, so the breakdown is, and this is my interpretation, is that the Academy Awards and the Oscars, they're not looking at what is actually, the most entertaining. They're looking at what is the most artsy and highbrow or whatever. It can be the most boring movie on earth. A good one for that, Chariots of Fire. A bunch of guys running the entire movie. Great soundtrack, but
But
it
in
won all kinds of
examples
awards and it was so boring.
in examples of films that hardly anyone remembers versus films that have become all-time classics and fan
Yes.
favorites amongst the movie lover community,
Yes.
it's went up against Raiders of the Lost Ark that year, and Raiders lost to Chariots of Fire for Best Picture.
How? How?
Yes, because looking back 45 years, oh, dang,
Why are you trying to make
45
me feel
years
old?
later, you ask anybody, have you seen Chariots of Fire? And they say, what's that? And if you ask
Yeah.
anybody, hey, have you seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones? Oh, yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Mhm.
See? But back in the day, and it's still this way, many cases, the Academy just has a fixation with dramas. They love
Mhm.
dramas, and like Lee said, the more artistic, the better. The more it
Mhm.
has a certain message behind it, the better. It fits their
Right.
agenda, perhaps.
Right,
But
or
as far as pure entertainment and what is loved by the fans, they don't care about that. They don't care how technologically advanced a movie was better than, let's say, Chariots of Fire. Raiders Lost Ark had incredible effects,
Mhm.
action, music, everything. Oh, by the way, Raiders lost best score to Chariots of Fire as well. I mean, not hating on Chariots, it's got that memorable Olympic
Yeah,
theme
I
and all
mean,
that.
not
But
but
still, John
I've
Williams,
I
hmm,
tried okay, I tried watching it. Yeah, I only lasted probably 45 minutes at the not even that. It's probably more like 30, I don't know, it was not very long, I was like, "Nope." I
well,
changed it because,
yeah.
you know, I I just ooh, and this is where I think that our award systems are actually kinda messed up, honestly. I think this is why I like the Popular Choice Awards when they do stuff like that, because that's actually going off of how people felt about the actual movies.
Mhm.
Not not someone telling us, "Oh, this is the greatest movie of all time," and everyone's like, "I didn't like that movie." You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
it's
Um,
same
there's
with
only one movie that I
yeah.
can think of that actually did win some awards that I agree with, and that was Lord of the Rings. But that was like I mean, you're talking about a movie that is pretty
Lord
muchly
of the Rings
perfect.
was exceptional. It
It was
was
accept
to me, it
because
was the
usually
last truly epic film ever made, and that was in
oh god, yeah.
2003.
Well, because usually, guys, horror will never win an Oscar, okay? It just
Except for
never will.
effects. That's it.
Except for
Yeah.
maybe effect but what I'm talking about is Best Picture, okay? We're just
No.
talking about Best Picture. A horror movie's never gonna win it. A fantasy movie usually doesn't win it. That was one of the first fantasies that's ever won it. Um, even science fiction doesn't usually stand a chance in hell either. So they automatically discount 3 categories of movies right out the door,
Yeah.
and they only pretty muchly look at either independent foreign films, that made a little bit of money or artistic movies, like, oh, I can't think of one off the top of my head. Or they ones that were just, like I think Gandhi, the movie Gandhi won, some kind of award at
Gandhi
some
won Best
point.
Picture of 82 or 83,
Okay.
one of those years.
So, which is about a story about, a very prominent man, and it was, played by, Ben Kingsley, I believe, and and the acting was
I mean,
really
he did
good
a
in
great
that.
job acting as
Oh, yeah, he
Gandhi.
did a
Yeah, he
great job
deserved that.
acting. Oh, definitely, 100%, 'cause I did watch that, and he did do a great job, but, would I ever watch that movie again?
No, I
Hell
mean,
the F
Best
no.
Picture? Nah.
That was the movies that win, typically, overall, their general theme is drama, and they don't branch outside of that little schism hardly ever. So, with all this in mind, I wanna say about a year to 2 years ago, Ash, we are involved in several movie groups on Facebook, and so Ash was and I were a part of this one movie group, and he started doing polls with people because he wanted to see what people's favorite movies were for every decade, right? He wanted to know what the number 1 movie was and got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of votes on these. So there was a wide range of people that voted in these polls that he did. And so we thought for tonight's episode, it would be fun to compare the movies that actually won the, awards for that year, or I mean, for that decade and or year or whatever, and the ones that the people actually loved from that
Mhm.
same year. So we just thought that that would be a very interesting take. So, Ash, headed away with our first time period.
Well, the furthest I went back, I actually started, honestly, back in the day, I started with the 80s because it's my favorite decade. So I didn't think it would go anywhere. So I'm like, yeah, just to have a little poll for what do you think is best picture of this year in the 80s and the entire decade. But got so many votes, like Lee said, so I started to do every decade. So I went all the way back to the 40s. I figured, I don't know why I stopped at the 40s. I could have done the 30s, but I figured the 40s had a lot of really big films of the 40s.
I don't think a lot of people would have known
And the
anything
thing
beyond
is,
the 40s.
most of the voters on that
Mo
page probably wouldn't have
Most
recognized
of the
many of the movies
voters
in the
were
30s.
millennials and
It's true.
Gen Z, and so some of the really old movies they never would have.
Well, the majority of votes I got were when I had the 80s and 90s polls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
2000s.
So there was a number of, like, younger Gen Xers in there, and then there was I think a big chunk of them were millennials, and then there was another chunk of Gen Zers. There were, of course, some boomers in there, but not very many.
Yes.
But so he ran this poll. So lead us away on this poll. What did it reveal?
Well, I mean, I could go by what was voted as favorite picture year by year and
Well,
by
let's
decade
talk
if you
about
like.
why don't yeah, well, let's do that. Let's do by decade, but what would be the one that actually won, like, in the Oscar or the Academy?
Well, to be honest, most of the films in every decade did not win Best Picture. That's what
Imagine that.
didn't surprise me really, because just show you how biased the Academy is that now in the 40s, you've got films like Citizen Kane was
Those
voted
were all yeah,
favorite
but those
film
were
in
all great
1940. That won
movies.
Best Picture.
Yeah.
Casablanca, that won Best Picture. But then you've got films like, believe it or not, It's a Wonderful Life, 1946 was the fan favorite. It did not win Best Picture. For some reason, I thought for sure It's a Wonderful Life won Best Picture back then, but
God,
it
that's
didn't.
amazing to me because that is such a wonderful movie and well loved. People
Yes.
watch that every year.
And then you've got look at the next year, 1948, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Now, I listed and I let people add any movie they wanted from each year if I left a movie out, if I'd omitted
Mhm.
one.
Yes, he did.
And they chose Abbott and Costello as their favorite film from that year. And we'll get on to, excuse me, let's see. I had everything in a tab system. Where is it? 40s,
But, yeah, it's the
50s. There's the
matter
50s.
of
Okay.
fact, I don't know, except for The Lord of the Rings in your poll, any of them matched up with the actual award winners,
Well, a lot of the older ones did.
the
In
old
fact, it
ones.
was mostly the films from the 40s and 50s that
Mhm.
actually
Yeah, but
matched
you
the
know
real
what? I'm
Best
just
Picture
gonna say
winners.
it, though, the movies back
Movies
in
were
the
better
40s and
back then
50 were
anyway.
better
They were
then,
better. Yeah. So they
back
actually deserved a
then.
Best Picture. Yeah.
Back then, it was not based on how big your boob size was or how handsome of a man you were. It was actually people responded to the movies that actually had great acting in them. And
Mhm.
so you could be like, let's be real here. Humphrey Bogart, that was not a good-looking man, but he was one of the most popular entertainers in his time. Why was that? Because he was a hell of a good actor. So some of those guys, back then that were the big stars were not that good looking. Now the women, they all were pretty, but the women, women will always be pretty because they gotta get the men in the seat.
Which takes us into the 50s. Humphrey Bogart. Funny you mentioned him. The African Queen, if anyone remembers that.
Mhm,
That was the fan favorite of 1951. Did not
mhm,
win Best Picture. You've
mhm.
got War of the Worlds, Rear Window. Those did not win Best Picture. Now, the only two in the 50s that won Best Picture that were also voted by the fans was The Ten Commandments, which is an
Oh, hell
amazing
yeah.
film, and Ben-Hur,
Oh,
which
hell yeah.
ties Lord of the Rings with winning the most Oscars.
Well, then then they're top tier movies, that's why.
Absolutely. The 60s. This is where things get really interesting, where separating from the Academy, this is where it branches off. Okay,
Alright.
I'm
Alright,
gonna
well, you know
yeah.
what, though? That's about the time, though, that they became more focused on physical presence over acting talent, was
Yes,
around the
yeah.
'60s. So, that could have something to do with it also.
And I'm just gonna go quickly, year by year, so you can see what I'm talking about. I do not believe any of these won Best Picture.
Alright.
Nope, unless okay, 1960, Psycho. 61, Yojimbo. That was a great movie. 62, To Kill a Mockingbird. 63, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Fan favorites.
Mm, mhm, mhm.
64, now 64, 65, and 66, you have a whole trilogy that won
Ooh,
Best Picture and fan favorite for Best Picture. You got
okay.
A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Well, hell
All
yeah,
three of
Clint
those Clint
Eastwood.
Eastwood films
Hell yeah,
were the
Clint Eastwood
favorites.
the man.
Absolutely. Then you've got Bonnie and Clyde, 67, Planet of the Apes for 1968, and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid for 69.
Wow. Wow,
Hmm.
okay, so what won in the Academy Awards for those years?
Honestly, I can't remember. So I'm going to check. 1960s. I know the 80s cuz and the 90s for sure cuz that's when I
Uh-huh.
started really watching them. Let's see. Here's a list right here. Okay. You got 61, 62, The Apartment, West Side Story, Lawrence of Arabia, Tom Jones, My Fair Lady, The Sound of Music, A Man for All Seasons, Oliver in the Heat of the Night. Again, these are very
I can
dramatic
only think
films.
of yeah, I can only think of 3 movies that are even worth a damn out of that entire
Right, right.
list, which would be, Sound of Music, can't remember the other ones that you listed, the other 2. There was a couple other ones,
Mhm.
but honestly, the rest of it, like, several of those movies I never even heard of. It's like, what the hell? Oh, like that. Oh my gosh. But again, it goes into, like Ash said, they started doing this whole "it's all gotta be dramatic" movies,
Mhm.
you know?
And it's just the 70s, this is where some of the classics start that most
Ooh.
everybody loves, is in their top 10 or top 20 favorite movies.
Mhm.
And these are the fan favorites. So 1970, Kelly's Heroes. 1971, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That is one of my favorites.
Oh, I love that movie.
72, okay, we got a few Best Picture winners here. The Godfather also won Best Picture.
Meh.
Now, 1973, what? What are you laughing about The Godfather?
I just don't you know what? I don't like mobster movies, so it's kinda like, meh. Meh.
Well, there's only a few, but that I could put over The Godfather, that I would put over. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't like the mob no, let me not gangster. Let me rephrase that. Mobster. There's a
Mobster,
difference.
not
Mobster,
gangster.
not
Yeah.
gangster, because there are some gangster movies that I like, but
Like, I'd take
mobsters.
Scarface over Godfather. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know why I just have a repulsion for anything dealing with the mob. It's just me. I am not one that you guys are gonna see sitting over there reading a mob boss's romance story, dark romance story.
Mhm. And 1973 is a surprise fan favorite, The Exorcist. People think they should have won Best Picture. My God, can you imagine the people at the
They
Academy?
would never.
They'd be
They would
mortified,
never. They will. And I'm telling you right now, they will never give a horror movie an
especially
Academy
back then.
Award.
No, no.
They will
Then you had a
not
Godfather
ever do
Part
it.
2. It won Best Picture. Jaws.
Hell
That's the
yeah.
first real injustice of a film that did not win Best Picture. No, I can't say it was an injustice, but it's definitely the more popular of what did win, which was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which is a great film. It's a really good film with Jack Nicholson. But the popularity of Jaws, if you ask people, what's your favorite movie in 1975? They'll say Jaws. There you go.
Basically, how can you not love that big old shark? It eats
And
people.
another mutual winner. It's Best Picture, 1976, Rocky. Now, I kind of
Okay.
agree with that. I could see that being Best Picture 76.
Yeah, I
Now,
can see that.
77, 78, and 79, it really branches off into sci-fi horror territory instead of dramas.
Mm.
So, 77, what won Best Picture was Annie Hall. Never even seen it, didn't even
What
really
the
hear
hell
about
is
it.
that
I don't
about?
even know what it's about, honestly. I know if you ask anybody, what movie should have won 77? What's the first movie that comes out in 1977?
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. Yes, fan favorite. 1978, one of Lee's favorites. She was just talking about it at the beginning. What do you think it is? One of John Carpenter's all-time classics.
Halloween.
Yes, it was voted by the fans for Best Picture of
Well,
78.
and I would like to reiterate, don't come at me, guys. Don't come at me.
Again, these are your picks. These are all fan picks. I did not change anything. I said, this is what you want. I'll put it down. So I went with it. In 1979, Kramer versus Kramer is what won Best Picture, but what was voted by the fans was Alien. Now,
Hell
that
yeah.
I could agree out of
I never even
79. That's
heard of the
probably
other
the.
one.
Hmm. I still haven't seen it. I don't know what it is.
Ugh,
Yeah.
God, all those
Another
movies that
drama.
win. All I know is most of those movies that win, I would fall asleep watching them.
Hmm. Yeah.
Or I'd just be
Sadly.
like
Yeah, I would.
disgusted. Though I'd walk away feeling disgusted.
Hmm.
All right, so
In the 80s.
what happened in the
We
80s,
move
the
on to my
golden
favorite
era?
decade. Oh my gosh. Some of my top 5, 10 films are mostly from the 80s and the 90s.
Oh yeah, mine too.
1980, um, I'm sorry, or was it Kramer versus Kramer that had won 1980? Oh, I see. No, we'll start with Ordinary People is what won 1980.
Ew.
I was like, what is that about? Never heard of it. But Empire Strikes Back was voted as the favorite.
Hell
I
yeah.
agree. 1981, we talked about it earlier. Raiders of the Lost Ark lost to Chariots of Fire. Raiders was voted the
Please.
fan favorite.
I did
And
that I didn't realize that, and that makes me crazy thinking about
and the
that.
thing is that the movies only get better and better starting now. This is
Mhm.
really some of the fan favorites start. 1982 was one of the best years ever for films. Ever. And the fan favorite that year was The Thing.
Heck yeah.
The Thing.
The
John Carpenter.
thing. He's making fun of me because I say the thing instead of the thing. The thing.
No, it's for Southern. They're gonna remake it in the South. Call it The Thing.
The
Yeah.
thing. I can't help it. I can't help it. I've got an accent. I'm from West Texas originally. I can't help
It's
myself.
okay. I'm not. It's
You know,
cute.
you guys,
It's cute.
you know what, you guys, you should hear me after I've been out in North Carolina for a little while.
Carolina. I ain't got no Southern accent.
You don't, but every time I
I
go out
should.
there,
I should have a
you
Southern accent. I've lived here
should.
all my life.
You
Yes.
should, but every time I go out to see Ash, my accent gets atrocious being out there. It's just like I pick it up so fast. It's like every southern instinct comes out. I was out there, I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, why am I talking like this?"
Yeah. So 1984, another one of the biggest years ever for movies. You think about 1984, all the movies that came out. You've got Ghostbusters, Terminator, Temple of Doom, Beverly Hills Cop, Neverending Story, Nightmare on Elm Street. Tons of them. Tons of great
That
classics
was the
came out in
golden
84.
year.
It was.
Yeah.
It really was one of the golden years. And This was actually a tie that came down to like 2 votes by some people at the last minute between The Terminator and Ghostbusters for the
Oh,
fans
wow.
voting. Of course, the movie that won that year Best Picture was Amadeus.
What the
I'm like,
hell?
when you
Ugh,
think of
I've
84
watched
movies,
that
I don't even
movie.
think of Amadeus at all. I think of Gremlins, Karate Kid, any other movie other than Amadeus. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I've watched that movie once. Again, boring.
Yeah. 1985. Another banging year.
Another banging year. I agree.
Well, some picture called Out of Africa won Best Picture that year,
Oh,
but
big
you know
surprise.
what the fans are going to vote for. 1985. Which movie comes to mind for you
For
that you know of?
me? Oh gosh.
1985.
There's so many of them.
I've got
I
to
don't
get back to
Back to
1985.
the Future.
Yes. Yes. One of the best
I
films of all time.
Oh, I agree.
Yes.
I agree 100%. I
That
love
is the
that
fan
movie.
favorite, and I personally the travesty here is that films like these were not even
Nope.
nominated or recognized for being Best
Well,
Picture.
again, what did I say earlier though? A lot of these films are
They
either
thought it was a joke back then.
they are either a horror movie that's been listed on on the fan favorites that voted. They're either a horror movie, they're either a science fiction movie, or
Mhm.
they're a fantasy movie, and those are automatically thrown out. And actually, action adventure, those are usually thrown out too.
Action,
S
adventure, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, gone.
and
They
what are
don't think
these?
about them.
These are the biggest categories that people watch, that people enjoy, that
They wanna
people
have fun. They wanna have fun at the theater. They
Yeah!
want a movie they can rewatch over and over.
Yeah, the films that actually win at the Academy Awards and these other award ceremonies, those films are the kind of films where if you do watch it, you don't wanna watch it ever again.
Yeah.
It's
One and
like a
done for
one
me.
and done
Yeah, exactly.
because they're usually extremely depressing
Oh,
or they're
well,
just well, they're
speaking
usually
of
very
depressing
depressing.
that leads us into the 1986 Best Picture winner, which was
Alright.
Platoon.
Oh god.
It won Best Picture,
I mean,
though
Platoon is a good
it's
movie,
a good movie, absolutely,
but for
but,
me, it's one of those one and
such a
dones
hard
too.
watch. Yeah.
It's like a one and done or a one in every 20 years and done.
I mean, you think of 1986, you've got movies like, well, what do you think won for '86 for the fan favorite?
I don't remember anymore.
Okay. Well, we got films like um, Top Gun, Aliens.
Aliens?
How'd you know? It's all I
Because
have to do is
the
say
minute you
Aliens.
say aliens, it's like, "Oh, it's gonna be aliens for sure,
Well, I
100%."
I thought it might have been Top
See,
Gun because Top Gun is so popular.
I don't have as good a memory of what year movies came out like Ash does.
Mhm.
So,
I have a photographic
if
memory when
he
it comes to
asked me
stuff like
what
that.
year, I'm sitting there like, I don't even remember what came out that year." Give me a list. I'll make my guess from the list. So, Aliens, that makes sense.
That's
Aliens
true. Now, it
I
has a
love
lot of other
Aliens.
great films. You've got, Highlander, Labyrinth,
Oh
a
god,
lot of other
Highlander was
good
so
movies
good
in
too.
'86.
Yeah, Highlander was such a good movie too.
And
That one is an interesting film just because of how it spans over the centuries, you know? It doesn't just leave you
Mhm.
in one place, it literally spans across time, and it's a very unique movie, and it had a banging soundtrack
the
done by
soundtrack,
Queen.
in a way, made that film. I can't imagine Highlander without Queen. Mm.
Oh god, yeah.
So if you haven't watched Highlander and you're a fan of Queen, you're missing out. Some of their best
Mhm.
songs they ever wrote were for that film. Definitely check it out.
And it's a great film, guys,
It's in my
for
top
real.
20. Mhm.
Mhm.
And moving on to '87, I'm telling you, the '80s were on a roll. This is
Oh
another
god, yeah.
golden year. 1987 and '84 could be contenders for the best year of the '80s because you had films like Predator, RoboCop, Lethal Weapon, The Princess Bride, Full Metal Jacket, The Lost Boys. Everything was coming out that
Mhm.
year.
Mhm.
Now, which one do you think was the fan favorite that year out of all these popular films?
Um, Lost Boys?
Yes. The Lost
Was it?
Boys beat out Predator, RoboCop, all those. Even though I love those are my
I
favorites.
could see
Lethal
that though
Weapon.
because
Mm.
a lot of us, we grew up loving that movie, and it had so
It's
much
a
good
cult classic.
humor.
Well,
It's a
was a cult
cult
classic, and now it's just a
classic.
classic.
I mean, so many of us love that movie. God, I can't even tell you how many damn times I watched that movie as a teenager. For the love of God, I
Again,
watched it
another
over and over and over
movie,
again.
another movie that I think the soundtrack really drove home. It would not be the same without it. Because the first
Okay.
thing I think of with Lost Boys is the saxophone man,
Oh my God,
that oiled
yes.
up saxophone man playing
I
on the
can't
beach.
even tell you how many memes with him on it that I've shared.
I think about the
You know what
soundtrack
this you
first
know what this
before I think
film
about anything else.
needs? This guy.
This is what's missing in this film.
This
Yeah.
is what's missing in this film.
No one's going to remember the vampires. They're just going to remember this scene.
Honestly, that he stands out the most in my mind because it's so crazy. He's like all oiled up there. He's got like some kind of loincloth or something on. I don't
It's
know. Just
so out of place, but it's so 80s. That's why it fits.
yeah, it's just oh my God, that guy. Yeah.
But the movie that won Best Picture that year was The Last Emperor, which I have not seen, but I've heard is still a good film. But I don't see how The Last Emperor could have beat out all those other ones. That's
No.
why the fans
Well,
chose The Lost
again, like I
Boys.
said, there's like 4 categories that they immediately throw out. They don't even
Mhm.
consider.
And 1988, ooh, the Best Picture winner that year, Rain Man.
I
It's
watched it.
okay.
It's
It's okay.
okay.
It's not one of my favorites. I'm not going to watch it over and over. But the fan favorites, and I can understand why. It's an action movie. Came out in 1988. What do you think it is?
He keeps asking me this, and I can't remember what came out in what
Similar to
year.
Lethal Weapon. It's like, you know, opposite
Oh,
Lethal Weapon. Not Riggs.
Die Hard?
Yes. McClane. John McClane, Die Hard was the fan favorite of 88.
I
I can
can
see
believe that.
why it's considered one of the best action films of all time.
You know what, though? I still maintain that it wasn't Bruce Willis's character that made that movie. It was Hans Gruber. It was our
Absolutely. The
it was our
villain.
it
He
was
made
our
that.
guy, man.
This was his
That's what
first
made that
film.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what made that movie. I mean, no diss on Bruce Willis because I love a lot of his movies, but in that particular movie, I mean, he really did steal it.
Mhm.
He was
Every
just so
movie
good.
Alan Rickman was in, he stole it.
Oh
Whether it
God,
was
yeah.
in Harry
Well, it's like
Potter,
Harry
Quickly Down
Potter. I
Under,
just
Robin Hood.
you couldn't
Yeah.
help but be drawn to Snape and Harry Potter. At least I couldn't. I mean, you know, I read the books, right? And I just hated Snape when I was reading those books up until I found out the whole thing. No spoilers, but I fell in love with Snape at once I found out what was going on, and but it the level of inspiration of hating, Alan Rickman brought that out 'cause he was just such a good whatever he played. The way he played the sheriff of Nottingham in
Oh
Robin Hood,
gosh. That's what I
and
remember
he
most
did it
about that movie.
fantastically, you know? That he's every movie I've ever seen him in Die Hard, he definitely stole that movie.
Mhm.
In my opinion, his acting was just spot on.
Yeah, his presence in every movie. There's some actors where just their presence in the movie
Mhm.
makes it a great film.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah,
Something
I'll
about
agree
him.
with that 100%.
Rest in
100%.
peace, Alan Rickman, really. One of the
Yeah.
best. Moving on to 1989, last year of the 80s, fan favorite voting was Batman, the motion picture.
Oh, hell yeah.
It
That was the
deserved it.
that was the first superhero movie that had been out since
That was a
Alan Mack
blockbuster success.
not Alan, Adam West.
Yes.
When he really I mean, there was a huge gap between, Adam West's Batman, the Wonder Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, and stuff like that, before there was another where they started making movies with the DC and Marvel
Mhm.
universes.
And 1989 was a great year as well to round out the 80s. It had Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade,
That
Back
was
to
a
the
great
Future
movie.
Part 2, Lethal
Mhm.
Weapon 2, The
God, yeah.
Abyss, Christmas Vacation. Almost forgot
Yeah,
about that. These are
yeah.
some of my favorite films. And one film you would never hardly remember that won Best Picture.
God, what
And I
was
don't
it?
know if I'm ever going to watch it. I don't know if I'd be interested to watch it.
What is it?
Driving Miss Daisy
That's actually a cute movie.
is a cute movie.
It is a
Okay.
cute it is a cute now, will I ever watch again? Probably not. I mean, I'll sit and watch it with you if you really wanna watch it. It is a good movie,
But
but
is
it's
it comparable to the other ones I mentioned for 1989, watching
not
over and
for
over?
rewatchability, no.
Yeah.
Not for binge watching or watching over and over again, no. It's 'cause it is a drama and it's sad and everything else in it. I mean, it's really cute, but yeah, but it's extremely sad and depressing too.
Yes.
So, it's one of those one and done for me.
One and done.
But it is it is a cute movie, and I can see why it won because it is a cute movie because you got this old white woman, and then she's got this black driver, that's driving her around,
Mhm.
and
All I know
she's
is that Morgan Freeman's in it. That's all
yeah,
I
and
know.
she's got some biases and this and that going on. I don't really remember if she was snotty in it, I remember that. She was a mean old white lady, but but it was I mean, it was, it was a good movie, but it's not one I would watch over and over again, and that's what the movies that people are voting for. They're voting for the
Mhm.
movies that they will watch 100 times.
Movies that make them feel good, not
Mhm,
simply how well they might have been made or how well they were acted, but movies that make you feel something. Movies that you
mhm.
wanna watch again and again.
And that's where the big divide is because, the movies that get picked for the Academy Awards and stuff like that, these movies, again, like I said, they immediately discount 4 entire fields, which I just don't think that's kosher at all. But, they're artsy artistic movies that people, if they do go watch it, they're only gonna watch it once, or they might wait 20 years before they watch it again. It's not the kind of movies that you love and wanna watch over and
Mhm,
over again, and it's one of the things that I don't like about the awards ceremonies because in my opinion, it should be the movies that people loved,
mhm.
not
Well, that's
necessarily the
they sorta have,
movies
like,
that
the MTV what is it? Movie Awards or
well,
the
yeah,
People's
and like I
Choice
said, I
Awards.
appreciate the ones that are the People Choice Awards because those, in my opinion, are the actual winners because that's the movies people actually wanna watch,
Mhm.
you
And
know? I mean, who
now
gives a rat's butt if no if it's artistic, if no one wants to watch it?
Right.
I mean, or they wanna watch it once and never watch it again.
And now we're getting into the '90s. Okay,
Alright.
some more classics. 1990 was a tough year because it had a lot of good films. The fan favorite was Goodfellas. I mean, not too surprised with that, but there were so many other good films like Home Alone and Total Recall,
Oh
Ninja
god, Total Recall.
Turtles, very popular movies. Now the one that won Best Picture, Dances with Wolves. Oh, it's like
I'm
okay.
sorry, my parents dragged me to that when it came out. They I ended up getting roped because we were, like, visiting my grandma or something like that, and so I got trapped in the vehicle and had to go watch it because this is not the kinda
Trapped in
I
the
did
vehicle.
I'm sa well, I've said it before, I'm not really big into Westerns. Now I'm beginning to appreciate more and more that I've had to watch because of our programming.
Mhm.
I'm starting to kinda broaden my horizons a little bit here, but I've never really saw the minute I saw the preview, I was like, But it was one of those, "Oh, no, this is a family event, you're going," kind of things. So I got dragged in there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm watching it, and I like Kevin Costner, okay, but let's be real, ladies. The real reason why Kevin Costner was so popular back then, it wasn't the acting ability, it was that all the women thought he was hot. Let's be real here. It's kinda like Tom Cruise, kinda the same thing, he was so popular because the women thought he was hot, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Uh
all the women loved Kevin Costner until he turned into a fish in Waterworld, then they didn't wanna see him again.
and that was actually probably one of his better roles,
Yeah,
but
Waterworld is actually one of my favorite Kevin Costner films that he's in.
my favorite
It's
of his, and I'm gonna get shit from this from people, but because he does not have an accent at all, but I loved him as Robin Hood. That's one of my
oh,
favorites
yeah.
of his. I loved him as Robin Hood, I mean, I mean, yeah, he should have at least tried to do an English accent, but, he wasn't put in that role to be British. He was put in that role because women like to look at his ass. So
Oh, yeah, there was that one scene in Robin Hood, I remember now, he's bathing in that little pond,
well,
wherever it was that
it goes back to Dances with Wolves. I believe there's an ass scene in Dances with Wolves. And, yeah, I'm just saying, but Dances with Wolves,
well,
it's so
um,
depressing. I just don't like movies that are depressing. It's so depressing. I mean, it's just one awful thing after another that happens in that movie, and it's just depressing as hell and has a sad ending, and it's just like, I never wanna watch that movie again. And unfortunately, I believe it's on our wheel, our lotto wheel.
well, if it's a
Unless
fan
it's a Warner Brothers film and
request,
we had to take it off,
yeah,
If
we'll
it's a
see.
fan request, I will watch it again because that's how
Mhm.
much I love you guys.
Yes.
Will I
We
be
are
happy?
loyal, we're
No.
people of our word. If it lands on the wheel, we will watch it.
We will watch it,
Mhm.
but
We will watch it.
but I'm gonna be sad at the end, like,
Yeah.
I was tortured.
Yeah. Speaking of Kevin Costner and
Mhm.
Robin Hood leads us into our next year, 1991.
Oh,
That was a
okay.
good film that year, but the two heavy hitters in 91 were the, Terminator 2:
Oh,
Judgment
hell
Day,
yeah.
which we
Hell
just
yeah.
reacted to on our Patreon. Could watch it over and over
Oh god,
forever.
yeah.
And then there's Silence of the Lambs.
Mhm.
Now, which film do you think won Best Picture that year?
T2.
No.
Silence of the Lambs did?
Silence of the Lambs was
Oh my
considered the
god.
first horror movie, if you could label it horror, like a psychological horror thriller, as they say, to win Best
Yeah.
Picture. Yeah. It beat T2. I mean, it's
Oh, that
great, but
actually
it's not
surprises
T2
the that
level.
is actually
Yeah.
surprises the hell out of me. I did not remember that from the polls, but
Those are the only
yeah.
2 movies I really
I
remember
mean,
from
it's a great
'91.
movie too. I enjoy
Yeah.
it too, a lot too. It surprises me because of how popular Terminator 2 is.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's in my top 5.
That
Top
that
5.
really surprises me, honestly, but it's
Um,
hey, I've watched Silence of the Lambs several times too.
mhm.
So, I
I mean, it
mean,
was
my
worthy. Silence of the Lambs was worthy
oh
to a
god, now that one was
competitive
worthy.
with,
Okay, so what
T2.
won at the Academies that year?
That's what won. Silence of the Lambs. Okay,
Did it
Silence of the Lambs
really?
actually won Best Picture, whereas on
Holy
here,
crap.
Terminator 2 won the fan favorite for that year.
Oh,
So,
I thought that's what you were asking
oh,
me
no,
for
no, no.
the
When I say
fan
Best Picture,
favorite.
I mean actual Best Picture versus fan favorite that
Well, I
year.
didn't even think Terminator 2 was even nominated.
No, it actually wasn't. It was not nominated for Best Picture, but it did win for Best Makeup,
Oh,
Effects,
yeah, yeah,
Editing,
yeah.
and Sound. Those,
Well,
technical
yeah, but that's
categories
what
for
they
sci-fi
always do
action
is
films.
but that's what they always do to pass off on these other films that are not in their typical genre, but
Mhm.
That really surprised me, Silence Slam, because they usually do
They never it made
they
history.
never. I think that that's the first time I've ever heard of of what is classified as a horror. Now, I don't personally feel
And
it's a horror. I feel it's
yes,
more of a criminal
it's a crime
thriller,
thriller. To me, it's a
crime
crime thriller.
thriller,
Yeah.
but that really surprises the crap out of me because
And
it's completely off the norm
I mean,
path
not
for
only the
them.
first time a horror film, considered a horror film, won Best Picture, but it also won the top 5 awards that they give out, which is Best Picture, Director, Actor, Anthony Hopkins, Actress, Jodie Foster, and Original Screenplay, I believe. So those are the top 5 you could win, and
Yeah, but
only
it's hard to
3
beat.
movies in history, I think, have won the top 5. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to beat though, Anthony Hopkins.
Oh god, he
Anthony
deserved that.
Hop
He
Oh
deserved that.
god, yeah.
Yeah.
He he was terrifying in that movie. I mean, oh my god. I mean, he was just terrifying, and when he
If you
rips that
wanted to
guy's
see
face off and wears it as his
oh,
own skin to get out, oh my god.
gotta give him props. He was a genius.
Oh my god. Well, just his look alone, he just conveyed
That stare.
like being a
Yeah.
psycho, and I've always heard he's actually a nice man,
Oh, he is.
but
Yes,
he would
yeah.
scare the crap out of me in real life after that
Now,
movie.
those 2 movies really defined where the '90s were heading at that point,
Mhm, mhm.
because that's when the '90s for me actually really began, because Silence of the Lambs really kicked off the thrillers and the crime thrillers. for the whole rest of
Mhm.
the decade. And T2 set the standard for what action films should be, action sci-fi should be for the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Most definitely.
1982. Sorry, we'll move on to 92. The Best Picture winner that year was Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood. We reacted to that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what other films came out that year.
it is a good really film it is really a good film, though.
It is. It
I
deserved it. I
I
mean,
I
it
would
worked.
have thrown
Yeah.
a fit before, but after we reacted to it, it's like, "Oh, I see why people really like this movie."
It took itself very seriously. The actors were very serious. Everything seemed very natural. The way they talked, the
Mhm.
conversations, the dialogue, everything was very, very
Right.
normal for how they would talk back then.
Mhm.
But with a fan favorite that won 92 was Reservoir Dogs by Quentin Tarantino.
See, I never watched that movie.
I saw it. It's a good movie. I don't know if I'd say it should win Best Picture, but it should have at least been
Well,
nominated.
yeah, but you gotta
Yeah.
think, it's Tarantino, and there are a
Yeah.
lot of very
Yep.
dedicated Tarantino fans out there.
And 93 is the big one. This was a big year for Steven Spielberg. I mean, he really won everything, if you think about it. The Best Picture winner, the official Best Picture winner, was Schindler's List.
Oh my god. I cannot
Schindler's
believe
List.
I cannot believe you said that.
Hey. Schindler's
Hey,
List.
hey, you know
List.
what? You know what? I'll give give 'em Schindler's List. I'll give the Academy Awards Schindler's List because
It was an incredible film.
it was
I
an
don't think I
incredible
could watch
film,
it again,
and
but it
most
was
importantly
masterfully
is
made.
was a film that needed to be made
Yes.
because people tried to change history and stuff. It needed to be made to put it out there, but
Mhm.
oh my god. That movie, though, at the same time, I watched it okay, so when I was a senior in high school, they played that in my English class the last 2 days of school. That is was our movie that we watched in my English class the last 2 days of school, and I watched that movie, and I wept, and wept, and wept in class. Everyone in my class wept over th with that movie. And it's one of those movies that I never wanna watch again, not because it's a bad movie or because I didn't like what it was trying to preserve, it's because it is so incredibly horrifying to
Mhm.
realize that that actually happened
Mhm.
and to graphically see it in a movie,
Which
you
is
know?
why I can understand how the fan favorite that year would not be Schindler's List.
Right,
It
yeah.
was one of the best films of all time, one of the biggest blockbusters, also made by Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park.
Oh, hell yeah!
Jurassic Park is a
Dinosaurs!
fan favorite forever. It will be.
Love dinosaurs.
So, either
My
way,
favorite
Steven Spielberg was going
dinosaur
home with the awards. I think he
my
went home with
f
like 8 or 9 awards.
My favorite dinosaur is a brontosaurus, in case anyone wants to
Oh,
know. What's my favorite? My
Brontosaurus,
brontosaurus.
not the
My favorite
Brachiosaurus.
now, when I was a little girl, it was brontosaurus and it was triceratops, and
I
I
always liked
actually
the
had a
Triceratops.
hard plastic triceratops when I was a little girl, and I played with that thing all the time.
That's so cute.
But today, it is Brontosaurus. That is my ultimate favorite. They're
Brontosaurus.
just so dang cute. I honestly, if they were around, guys, and if I got drunk, I'd probably try to ride one. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'd try to
Hey,
Flintstone it.
I would get drunk riding a Brontosaurus because I'd be drinking a long neck while riding a long neck. Yeah. Give me a long neck while I'm riding this long neck.
That was a great mo you know what, though? That was a great movie, and it was a groundbreaking
It's in my
movie.
top 20, Jurassic Park. Yes.
All the Jurassic Park movies, I can flip them on, and I can sleep with them on at night
Yeah.
because they're kinda like comfort movies, like, all the Indiana Jones movies, same thing, Lethal Weapon movies, same thing, Jurassic Park movies, same thing. I can just flip them on and have them in the background at any time, and I just love them.
And, hold on one second. Check this. Okay. 1994. This is another golden year in cinema. Some consider it the best ever because you've got films like The Shawshank Redemption,
Mhm,
Pulp Fiction,
mhm,
Lion King, and Forrest Gump all
mhm.
came out the same year. and they were all in the
Mhm.
theater, I think, at the same time.
I think Forrest
Now,
Gump won that year
it
in the
did.
Academy Awards,
It did, and
yeah.
I'm not too surprised. It was such a
Oh,
popular
well,
film. It
but you know
actually
what?
won.
It was actually a great film. That's
Mhm.
one of the few times I will agree with the Academy Awards because it
Yeah.
really was a great film.
I mean, Shawshank, people say Shawshank Redemption is the better film, and they prefer it over, Forrest Gump. I I can understand why. It's one of my favorites as well. But for, like, rewatchability over and over, I can understand why people would go
Yeah,
with Forrest Gump over Shawshank.
I can't walk Shawshank except once every so many years.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love Shawshank, but it's not that kind of a
It's a
movie.
beautiful film,
Yeah,
Shawshank, yes.
it's a great film. It's just not that kind of movie though that you wanna
Mhm.
sit and watch over and over and over and over and over
But that was a
again.
great year, and, that was actually the fan winner that year. The Shawshank Redemption won fan favorite in the poll. 1995, the Best Picture winner was Braveheart. Yeah,
Oh.
I think that kinda deserved it.
Oh
And
god,
now,
yeah. I love that. The soundtrack for that movie.
I will just say that is one of the biggest travesties in Academy history, is James Horner getting snubbed for the Best Score Oscar to Braveheart. I think some film called Il Postino won that year that I'd never heard of. I'm like, everyone thought for sure Braveheart was gonna win, James Horner's first Academy Award
It
Oscar,
should've.
and it didn't.
That soundtrack,
Oh,
matter of
he
fact,
was robbed. He was robbed.
if I had an actual ceremony when I got married,
Mhm.
I would probably pick "For Love of a Princess" as one of the
Oh,
songs playing.
yes. That alone. Yeah.
Yeah, but oh my god, because
But the
the song is haunting, man.
it is.
And the soundtrack was and the movie was great too. It was a great movie. I mean, granted,
Such an inspirational film, yeah.
it wasn't necessarily completely historically accurate,
No,
but it
but
was
it
a
was
great
just good. It
film.
was fun.
It
It
was a
was very
great film.
entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
But the fan favorite, about 30 years later, was not Braveheart. It was actually the movie Seven, directed by David
Oh,
Fincher.
really?
Yes, that's the fan favorite. You can tell where people's
You
tastes were heading 20, 30 years later, getting
you
into a
know
little
what,
bit darker
though? I
territory.
have not watched that movie in a long time. It was a good movie too.
Mhm.
But 7 is one of those movies, it's not one I wanna watch over and over again. I'm
Like,
kinda
if you had to
surprised.
choose between the 2, which you'd wanna watch more frequently, Braveheart or Seven?
Probably Braveheart.
Yeah, just for the music on Braveheart, I'd watch it.
Just for
Yeah,
the
even for
music,
that.
but
Mel Gibson.
honestly, either one of them,
You'd
though,
wanna watch it for
honestly,
Mel Gibson.
yeah, well, probably
Yeah,
because he was so cute when he was
yeah.
young. But I ain't gonna lie.
I know.
But, honestly, neither one of them are movies that I would watch that often. You
No.
know, like, it's been at least 15 years since I watched Braveheart, and it's been what was the other movie again?
7.
7? It's been at least 20 since I watched 7. So, I mean, if that tells you anything, and I still don't really necessarily now 7, I might watch again in the near future just
I would, you know,
because of of the channel,
that's
but
one that I would react to.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was
because
gonna
I haven't seen it
say.
in such a long time.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that's definitely one we can consider for our Wednesday show, but because
Yeah,
I haven't watched in a while
yeah.
either, and I know it's a good movie, but it's one of those movies that it's just not one you're gonna sit there
Eh.
and put on as a comfort movie or whatever, or one that you're gonna watch again and again and again. It just isn't, even if it is a good movie.
1996 was a rather odd year. The Best Picture winner was The English Patient. Never seen it. I've never seen it.
I
Uh,
saw the preview, and that was enough to turn me away.
yeah, 1996 had a ton of votes. I remember it was a tie between Fargo and Scream. It was a
Oh
tie. Literally
god.
one vote out of hundreds. They were tied. So I'll give it to both of those. For the fan favorites, it was Fargo and Scream. Best Picture was English Patient. Uh, I guess I'd watch Scream if I had to choose out of between all those three. Scream over Fargo and
Uh,
Scream over The English Patient because I do like horror movies.
yeah, I'd
Yeah.
probably watch Scream over Fargo, but Fargo was kind of interesting, but
Mhm.
it wasn't entertaining as much
Mhm.
as
Yeah,
Scream
that's what I
is,
mean.
if that makes sense. I
Yes.
mean, I got more entertainment from Scream than I did from Fargo. I mean, it is an interesting movie, but not one that I mean, I watched it
Yeah,
once and that's it
yeah.
for me.
1987 had a lot of fun films, though the Best Picture winner was, of course, Titanic.
Mm.
It was a Titanic film. What I know you have mixed feelings about that. But at the time, hey, everybody was into it. It was the most
Oh my
popular film
god.
of the
You know
year.
what? Honestly,
Everybody
I
loved it.
was repulsed by it because of the way the women were acting for that movie where they were running and watching that damn thing like 15, 20 times. I refused to watch it because of the women, the way they were behaving over that movie. I didn't watch it for years and it was at least God, at least 10 years after the movie came out before I
Yeah.
finally watched it because I got so disgusted by
They were
these
all
women running to go watch that
dragging their
movie.
boyfriends to go see it with them 5 times.
Ugh.
Those poor guys
Some of
afterwards.
these women
Oof.
watched that thing 10, 15 times
Yeah.
in the theater,
There was a
paying
big
movie
baby boom the
theater
next year.
prices and
Yeah.
the movie theater prices and popcorn and everything. Oh my god. It
I
wasn't
did
that
see it
good
in
of a
theaters.
movie.
I did see it in prime time at the theaters. It was good. It was a great experience in the theaters. We went in 7 and got out at like 11 o'clock at night, and I was
Mm.
only 10 years old, whatever.
See, I have mixed feelings for Titanic because the graphics and the details and everything like that were
The
incredible in that
production,
movie.
the
The
way it was made was
production
incredible.
the
Yes.
production was fantastic. I'm not a huge fan of Leo DiCaprio. I don't like him as a human being, so I don't like to watch a lot of his movies as a
Poor
result.
Leo.
You know what? No. No, not poor Leo,
I know, no.
because I'm not gonna go into it entirely, but he's done some stuff that people swept under the rug that I remember from whenever I was young, and it's been swept under the table, and I have not liked him since I was a teenager, and keep in mind, he's about my age, so I haven't liked him since I was a teenager since I found out about a couple things that he did that they managed to sweep under the rug in the
Mhm.
years since. And but I never forgot, and I've just not liked him very much as a human being as a result. Um, but so I have a tendency of not watching his movies because when I see him, I just wanna slap him.
Oh, but I do have a favorite of his. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? That was
Now
his
that
best
was a
role ever.
really good movie. I'll give that. That was a fantastic movie. It's not one I will watch and watch and watch, but it is a movie. It's a really good
Good
movie, and he
movie, very
did do a
sad,
really
great
good job
performance.
I'm not saying he's not a great actor. I'm just saying I don't like him as a
As a
human.
person, yeah, that's fine. It's alright.
But so I have mixed feelings for Titanic because of that, and then also as a writer, I have some major issues with with the script. I just really do. There's just some stuff in it that just it just makes me wanna scream. So, I have
But
mixed feelings because it is visually just I mean, they captured everything beautifully, when it comes to visual production and all
well,
that.
it won 11
Um
Academy Awards that year, of course,
Mhm,
but the ones that it did not win pertain to acting and story. It did not win
mhm,
best screenplay, actor,
and rightfully
actress,
so.
anything like that, but it won every technical award, including best picture, director. Again, the
Well,
way
and
they
rightfully
made the
so,
film
yeah, and rightfully so,
was
because those
perfect.
parts were perfection. It was
Yes.
just if they would have had a better storyline, I probably would have liked the film, but it's just as a writer, there was just a lot of stuff in that movie that I just did not like. So it's hard for me to watch it. Now, I'm a big softie when it comes to romance and all that, so for me to say something like that, I mean, I write
Like,
romance.
we were just talking
I
about the
write
movie.
romance,
Yeah, we
so
were just talking about watching the movie, possibly reacting to it, Somewhere in Time with
oh,
Christopher
yeah.
Reeves.
Oh, we're
That's a
definitely gonna do that.
romantic movie. Like, that movie
We're
I like. Yeah,
that movie, the script, everything is
yeah,
beautiful on it.
yeah.
100%.
Anyway, gotta get to the fan favorites of '97.
Okay.
The one that won the fan poll was The Fifth Element.
Oh, hell
Now,
yeah.
that's a fun movie. That's one I could put on over and over,
Oh, me
and had a
too.
lot of competition because you had Men in Black as well,
Mhm,
and you
mhm,
had, I know it was another popular action sci-fi, Starship Troopers. So you had a
mhm.
lot of big blockbusters that year, but they just couldn't compete with Titanic. But yeah, Years later, I think people may have the same opinions that you do on Titanic now, but they didn't have it back then, and that's why they prefer films like The Fifth Element. So that one,
Mm,
97. Now,
mm.
1998 is also, for Best Pictures concerned, could be the biggest travesty ever.
Oh god.
No, because what won Best Picture was Shakespeare in Love. I only saw it once when it came out in '98. Don't care to see it again. I didn't think it was that good. What are you laughing about?
Because that movie sucks.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't find anything that I really liked about it, but it won Best Picture over. You not believe what it won Best Picture over that year. Everyone thought for sure this was going to win. Now, this is also a hard watch, but an amazingly well done film by Steven Spielberg, Saving Private Ryan. This
Mm.
is one of the best World War II films ever made. I will just say, the way it's
Honestly, I'm
made.
surprised that it
And to
won
lose to
over.
Shakespeare in Love. I mean, come
I'm
on. It's
actually
an insult.
surprised because
It's an
Saving
insult.
Private Ryan hits all of the
It
Academy's,
does. It's a drama.
boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kinda surprises me.
I
I mean,
mean,
yeah, Saving Private Ryan was a really good movie, but I will never watch it again. I watched
but
it
I
once,
think
that
it
was
was
good enough for
better,
me.
more deserving than Shakespeare in
Oh,
Love
hell
for Best
yeah.
Picture.
Shakespeare in Love was
Yeah. Because it already
whatever.
won Best Director for Steven Spielberg. People thought, oh, yeah, they're just going to give Saving Private Ryan all the big awards. Like, nope. And people were shocked. They were like, audible gasp. Yeah. And the final year of '99, we close out with some big ones. Now, the film that won Best Picture was American Beauty. Have you ever seen that one?
That's the one with Kevin Spacey.
That's not a bad film. It's an
Yeah,
okay film. It's a good
don't
film.
know.
But when you compare it to the other films that came out that year, you got American Pie, you've got The Matrix, you've got The Mummy. Those are some of my favorites.
Well, and there is 2 movies right there that I would have a very hard time picking
Well, like The
between
Matrix and The Mummy.
The
Like, what,
Matrix
what would
and
you
The
choose between?
Mummy.
Yes.
That's what I'm
And
saying,
that
it would be
almost came down to a
very
tie.
hard for me to decide between because I
Well,
love them both so much.
ultimately, the fan choice was The Matrix was the winner
I
for
can
the
believe
fan
that.
favorite.
It for me, honestly,
Matrix is like one of the top
I
5 best
honestly
sci-fi films of all
there's no
time.
way I could choose between the 2 of them. I literally love them both equally.
Now,
Um,
if you made
but
me
The
choose between
Matrix, I will
Mhm.
say this, The Matrix blew my freaking mind.
Yes.
The thoughts whenever I can remember I was going to, school at the time. I was getting a trade degree at the time, and we had gone out on a rec trip, basically, a group of us, and the one that we had chosen was to go watch the movies and went and watched The Matrix. When I got back to campus, I was wandering all over campus, just my mind blown and thinking about all kinds of things and then questioning reality, and it was just a mind-blowing movie for me, because I had never even thought along anything along those lines before. And, of course, Keanu. He's been one of my guys forever, and I think the one reason why I love him so much, though, is because he's also probably one of the most incredible people in Hollywood that there is.
Yes,
I
one
mean,
of actually the kindest
the
actors,
kindest
genuine there is.
actors, genuine person, down to earth, probably one of the best human beings alive
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
reality, because he's just I mean, he the things that he's done in his life, which I don't think he was always there. I think he's always been a nice guy per se, but I think the things that happened with, this series of events, him losing a best friend in River Phoenix, and then losing his baby and losing his baby mama, and just those back to back to back events, I think that was really what fully humbled him in life, because he realized what matters and what doesn't from those, because he was kind of a little wild. No one remembers this, but I remember this because I was a huge River Phoenix fan at the time when River Phoenix died. So I followed everything River Phoenix was doing, and Keanu by association. And him and River were a little wild in those days, but I think River dying really kind of distanced him from the Hollywood scene per se.
Mhm.
And then the other things and his sister getting cancer and this and that, the other things really honed him, but he's always been a good person. You just don't become a good person like that, but I think that he's remained uncorrupted by
Mhm.
Hollywood and some of these other things because he stepped back, after seeing what happened to River and then losing the others and all that, because
Yeah.
Hollywood ruined River. There's no doubt about it. Hollywood ruined River. He was messed up because of what went on in Hollywood.
So yeah, but 1999 with The Mummy and The Matrix, The Mummy starring Brendan Fraser, of course. He's also one of the more beloved actors in Hollywood. Like between Keanu Reeves and Brendan Fraser, most
Oh my
people
god,
love
I
them
love them
both.
both.
They
I
really
love them both.
and the both those movies came out the same year in their most iconic roles. Him in The Mummy and
Mhm.
Keanu as Neo in The Matrix. That's who
Yeah.
people think of when you say Brendan Fraser. Oh, those movies. So
Oh god,
99
yeah.
was a big year, and I'm
Well,
surprised neither of
that's the
them
funny
won.
thing because, Brendan Fraser, he's one of the stars that I had a thing for too, but it wasn't for all his it was for his character that he played, Rick O'Connell.
The character, kind of
That
like Han
character that
Solo,
he
the
played
character of
yeah,
Han
because
Solo. Yeah.
I didn't think he was that attractive when he was in, like, Blast from the Past and Encino Man and some of these other ones, but him as Rick O'Connell, I mean that character that he
Yeah,
played, I
yeah.
mean, it's just like and then you pair it with his good looks, over, dead. Same thing with Neo in The Matrix, Keanu.
Mhm.
Because I grew up with him on Bill and Ted, and I was not attracted to him in those years, but after he played Neo,
Yep. You know, there was another baby boom in, the year 2000. Yep.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of 2000, we're moving into the new century. All right.
Alright.
So, the film that won Best Picture in 2000 was Gladiator. That is
I can
respectable.
I can I can agree
Yes.
with that one, yeah,
And
that's one I
that
can
was
agree with.
also the fan choice, Gladiator.
So that's the
Because
only one that they've
yeah.
agreed on.
Well, maybe in a couple in the '70s, like,
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Godfather, something like
Yeah, a
that.
couple in the '70s, but for the most part.
And 2001 Best Picture winner, A Beautiful Mind, directed by Ron Howard. Also
Yeah,
starring, what's his name? Who's in The Gladiator?
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, yes. So he was
Yeah.
on a roll,
Hey, you know
and
what? When he was in that time period, he was sexy. The
oh,
women
yeah,
loved him.
he did a
But
great job.
and I feel bad for him because, he just got caught up in the drinking and whatever
Mhm.
else he was doing, kinda ruined his career because he was
Yeah,
actually a really good actor.
I agree. And 2001, 2, and 3, we've got another trilogy of winners for the
Hell yeah,
fan
Lord of the
favorites.
Rings.
The
Lord of the
Lord of the
Rings.
Rings 1, 2, and 3, those years.
I completely agree with
I
their
agree with
synony
them. I do. I do. Though the film that won 2001 was, of course, A Beautiful Mind, 2002, Chicago, and 2003, we have another fan favorite that actually won Best Picture, The Return of the King. It
Hell
deserved it.
yeah.
Any
Hell
movie ever
yeah.
deserved it, it did.
Love
And
those movies. I think
2004
it's
was
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. What were you saying? Yeah.
I was just gonna say Lord of the Rings, they were that movie and as y'all know, I consider them one movie. I do not consider
Yes,
them
like
3
Back to the
movies.
Future. I consider
Yeah.
it one continuous story,
It's
one
one
movie.
continuous story. It's just they literally pick up immediately where they left off.
Mhm.
So to me, they're one big movie broken up into 3 discs.
Yeah.
But that movie, oh my god.
It was the last truly epic films
Oh,
made. I mean, afterwards,
I
you get some good films,
cannot
but nothing that could ever compare to that.
yeah, Lord of the Rings will be my number 1 for all time. I will not ever replace it. Guaranteed
I mean,
100%.
T2 used to be your favorite,
It
and
used to be his
yeah.
favorite, but Lord of the Rings knocked it out. It's now
Mhm.
my
It
number
happens.
2.
It happens.
Yeah, but the Lord of the Rings, they are such a masterpiece. And anytime someone says they hate Lord of the Rings, I kinda look at them a little strange. I mean, I do judge them. I do judge you.
There's nothing to actually
But,
hate
I
about
mean,
the way it's made. There's nothing
well,
wrong with it. If it's not your
the
style, if it's not your
what I
preference of
hear
fantasy or whatever, I can
what I've
understand.
heard from people, the ones that don't like it, it's because they're long and they think they're slow and boring.
Well, then you don't hate it, you just have a short attention span, and I
Yeah,
pity you.
that's what
I'm
I
sorry,
always think,
you don't hate it, you
but
just
okay,
can't sit through
but you
it.
know what, guys?
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you guys, I love you anyway, and if that's how
right.
you feel, it's valid. I don't agree with you.
Look, there's some people that like 3, 4-hour movies and some people that can only watch an hour and a half movies. That's okay.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna say just because a movie is long that I hate it, like it's a bad movie or it's poorly made, it's not.
Shit, if they
Lord of the
release
Rings
a
is a
Lord of
masterpiece.
if they release a new 3 series set and each movie was 12 hours long, I'd go and watch I'd still watch it.
I would. Like, if they found something with 3 extra hours of footage per movie, like a 6-hour movie, I would watch it because I love the world, the story, the characters, everything.
Oh, I
Alright.
love them. Yeah.
I could brag about Lord of the Rings all night. So,
Alright,
gotta move
the
on to
we gotta move on.
2004. Best Picture winner that year, Million Dollar Baby by Clint Eastwood. I saw
Oh.
that, another kinda depressing film, sad, good movie.
That's about all that they usually wanna go for, though.
Yes, whereas
Sad and depressing.
no, the fan favorite was the polar opposite.
Oh,
We had
yeah?
something totally bonkers. Shaun of the Dead.
Hell yeah! I love that movie.
That's one of my favorites too. It's one I could put on and laugh to, doesn't matter.
Oh god,
I'll
yeah,
watch it.
it's a funny movie. I love that movie.
And 2005, Crash. Now, a lot of people were surprised that this I'd never seen it. Directed by Paul Haggis. I've never seen Crash. Um, but
I never
everyone
even
was
heard
surprised
of
it won
it.
Best Picture, though the fan favorite that year was Batman Begins, which is the first in the trilogy, with starring
Yeah, I
Christian
can
Bale.
see that. That
That was a
well,
good one.
those are my personal favorite Batman movies.
And then we had a couple here actually. The fan favorites match up with the Best Picture winner, 2006 and 7 consecutively.
Really?
2006, The Departed won Best Picture and favorite. 2007, No Country for Old Men, Best Picture and fan favorite. You notice the trend of the movies winning for actual Best Picture. You're getting more into this like crime, drama, thriller type
Mhm.
movies because in 2008, now this was odd, for Best Picture winner was Slumdog Millionaire.
That was a great movie, actually. I
Mhm.
have watched that one. I really enjoyed it.
Though, for me, 2008, I remember seeing a lot of movies in theaters. I saw Iron Man. Iron Man came out in 2008, saw it in theaters. Kung Fu Panda, love that film. And The Dark Knight, which you know is most people's one of their top 10 favorite films nowadays for a lot of
Mhm.
people. And that was
Mhm.
the fan choice. They chose The Dark Knight, should have won Best Picture, but it was actually recognized. That was the first year where they expanded the number of films that could be nominated for Best Picture. I think it went from 5 to 10 or 8,
Huh.
something like that. And they included The Dark Knight because of how popular it was. And that was the first time they actually gave recognition to a comic book movie or a superhero movie
Mm.
like
Well,
that.
I was gonna say because
Yeah.
they don't usually do that at all.
Unless
But,
they did it
okay,
with the original
but to
Superman
be
in
fair
'78. Can't
but
remember if
to
they
be
did.
fair,
Yeah.
the performance by one Mr. Heath Ledger
Well, he
and
made
that
that movie.
he
Yeah.
completely made that
If it weren't for
movie.
him, no one would hardly remember The Dark Knight. To say it's another good
He
Batman movie.
was
Yeah.
that performance, oh my god,
And that's
and
why he
he
won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor posthumously. He passed away before the Oscars, and they still gave it to
mm,
him because he deserved it. Yeah. Rest in
yeah,
peace,
that was
Heath Ledger.
rest in peace because he obviously a very brilliant actor gone too soon.
Yeah. 2009, Best Picture winner, The Hurt Locker. Uh,
The what?
The Hurt Locker. I think
Yeah, I'd never watch a movie that's named that, I'm just
it was a
saying.
war film. I think it took place
Oh,
in
even less
Afghanistan or
chance
something
I'm
like
gonna
that.
watch it.
Now, the fan favorite was a Quentin Tarantino film, Inglorious Bastards.
Tarantino.
Another technically a war
Tarantino
movie, but
has
not
his
exactly.
own weird way of doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell it's a Tarantino film if you start watching a movie, it's like, "Oh god, this is a Tarantino film," because of the way that they talk, the characters, the way they talk, and just the style of the movie, it's got Tarantino all over it.
I agree. Now we're getting into the final decade. Thanks for sticking with us all this time. We've covered pretty much everything. 2010 Best Picture, Inception. Now, oh, I'm
Inception.
sorry, it did not win. That was the fan favorite. I was reading the list.
I was gonna say,
The
"What?"
fan favorite was Inception. You're like, there's no way they give Inception
I
Best
know, I was
Picture.
sitting there going, "What?"
um, let's see, what was the actual winner for 2010? Uh, The King's Speech. Yeah. Okay. I never saw
Okay,
that
movie
one.
I've
I can
never
understand
heard
why
of.
Inception won. Now you're gonna need more drama movies here in this decade. 2011, The Artist. The Artist.
Mm,
I don't no idea what that's about.
mm-mm.
Um, but the fan favorite, The Cabin in the Woods,
Oh, I could
was the
see
fan
that. That
favorite
was
that
creepy
year.
as hell.
Yeah, it was like an homage
Yeah.
to all the Evil Dead movies and
Oh,
80s
yeah.
horror.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And 2012, Argo? Really? One Best Picture? What is Argo? I don't even know
I
what
don't
it
even
is.
wanna know.
I don't know. I think I stopped watching a lot of movies during this time period. A lot was going on. Been 2011,
The only
12.
movies that I think I
Yeah.
watched in that time period were the Marvel movies, honestly.
Right. I think that was what most people were watching, were the superhero and
Mhm.
Marvel movies. But
Yeah,
The Dark Knight Rises was the fan favorite of 2012.
I could see that. Oh,
So
well,
pretty much every
I
Batman
loved
movie was a
all of
fan
the
favorite.
Batman movies.
Hmm.
I loved all of the Batman movies. Those 3 movies are my favorite Batman movies, and then I fall back to the, Michael Keaton ones.
Yeah.
But
And you got 2011, I'm sorry, 13 was 12 Years a Slave.
okay.
Have not seen that one. The fan favorite that year voted was The Wolf of Wall Street. I did see that one,
Yeah, I
and
didn't, but again, it's a
it was
Leo film,
okay. It was
so
good. Yeah. Leo, because it's got Leo in it.
'cause it's got
Yeah.
Leo in
You probably wouldn't
it.
like it if you watched it. Um, okay, we'll skip that. 2014 was Birdman. That was has Michael Keaton in it. Never saw it. Yeah, missed a
Birdman?
lot of movies that came out during this time, except for a few Marvel
Okay.
films. But John Wick was the fan favorite that year.
Hell
The
yeah,
first John
John
Wick.
Wick.
Yeah. And 2015, Spotlight won Best Picture. What is that about? Oh, I
I
just
have no
I
idea.
did not
I
keep up with
these
the Best
movies
Picture winners those
I've
those
never even
years.
heard of these
Neither have
movies.
I. But Mad Max Fury Road was the
Eh,
fan favorite, 2015. That was a great
I
action
haven't
film.
I haven't watched any of
I think you'd enjoy that one.
only Mad Max movies I've seen were the original
Original
ones.
with Mel
Yeah.
Gibson, but this is a good one. This has even more action than those. And 2016, we go from Spotlight winning Best Picture to Moonlight.
Oh my
What is it with the
god.
lights? Spotlight, Moonlight, all the lights are they're all the same. Really? And I was like, what the heck is going on here with the Academy? What are they drinking? What are they smoking? I don't know. But Deadpool was the fan favorite,
Hell
2016. The
yeah, I can
first
see
Deadpool.
that. You know why? Because he's just completely unfiltered. You can't help but love him.
It was different for the time. It's what
Although
people needed in that time.
honestly, I don't enjoy the singular movies as much as I did the Deadpool and Wolverine movie.
Mhm.
That was just so funny because the 2 guys are so different.
And let's see, 2017, The Shape of Water won Best Picture.
Okay.
Did you ever see that one? That was
Nope.
interesting.
Nope.
And let's see, 2018 was Green Book, if I'm reading that right. Green Book wins Best Picture. Okay.
Okay.
I
Never heard of it.
have never heard of that one. How did I miss it? But I haven't
I've
heard of it.
never heard of that. Most of
And
these that you're listing off, I've never heard of.
well, especially as you get into the 2010 decade. A lot of
Mm,
those completely under the radar. Most of these were overtaken by superhero Marvel DC films were all the favorites. You got a
mhm.
combination of Batman, Deadpool, John Wick, the Avengers, all that.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I'm sorry, I never mentioned what the fan favorite was for 2017. The best picture was Shape of Water. The fan favorite was Logan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You still got to see Logan. I mean,
I
I
know,
know
I
it's
still gotta
dramatic, but it's one of his best movies.
I
Yeah.
I just know I'm gonna cry. I don't wanna watch it if I'm
Well,
gonna cry 'cause you guys, and I swear some of you guys are intentionally picking sad movies so you can watch me cry.
yeah. 2018 fan favorite, Avengers: Infinity War.
Hell yeah.
And what do you think the follow-up was? Fan favorite 2019.
Endgame?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So we had
How
Infinity
could
War
it
and
not
Endgame.
be? That was like,
Yes.
oh, that movie broke me though. That was the last Marvel movie that I actually could watch for
Yeah.
a while there. Now I did watch a couple of the Spider-Man since then, the Spider-Man Doctor Strange one, but it just broke my heart when Robert Downey Jr. went. I
To
loved
me,
his
that was the
character.
end.
That was to
And
me, that was the end. I'm sure if I sat and watched the rest of them, I'd enjoy them too, but it broke my heart. I'm
mhm.
I'm still grieving.
Well, like I said, I've said before, Iron Man was one of my favorite Marvel
Mhm.
characters. Wolverine was one of my favorite characters. Blade. Um, and when when they're gone, I just stop watching. Really, you can't
Well,
replace them.
no, and, I even for me, it's even harder because Iron Man,
Mhm.
as I talked about in another video
In our
before,
reaction, we reacted to Iron Man on our
yeah,
Patreon.
we
Yeah.
did on our Patreon, is an exclusive. My Iron Man was my daughter's favorite, character,
Mhm.
and she loved him. She had a brain deformity and passed away when she was 2 years old, but she loved Iron Man, and I got her a stuffed Iron Man actually that was as big as she was, and she would hug that thing and talk to it like it was talking right back to her, and she was, but she ended up passing away. So when Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Iron Man, died in the movie, it was like losing my daughter all over again, so it just broke my heart, so, I'm still kind of grieving.
Right. Yeah.
But I loved Iron Man. Of all the Marvel movies of the single characters, that is my favorite
Yes.
because N I honestly 100% believe there is no one else in this world that could have played Tony Stark other than Robert Downey Jr.
I can't imagine it. Even if I could imagine anybody, say take your choice of someone
No,
to
I could
replace him
I
with.
could throw a million different actors in there, but
They
they
couldn't pull it
wouldn't
off like he did.
they
They just
would
couldn't.
not have made the perfection of Tony Stark as Robert Downey Jr. did. Robert
Mhm.
Downey Jr., he is I think Iron Man is a lot like him, the Tony Stark character in some ways.
He really didn't have to act that much.
Yeah, I think that he is really kind of like that, you
Mm.
know what I'm saying? And because when he was younger, he was wild, but he learned from that wildness, he came out of it on the other side of it. He cleaned himself up and made something of himself and became Iron Man, and I
Mhm.
think that that bled into that character. That's why I don't think anyone else could have played Iron Man.
I mean, like you said, where he started off, I remember first seeing him in Weird Science. He was one of the
Mhm.
boyfriends of those girls that the guys were interested in.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that was in '85. So to come all the way from a cheap boyfriend in Weird Science to saving the universe in Endgame and being one of
Mhm,
the greatest characters of all time, it says
mhm.
something. He really
Oh
came a
god,
long
yeah.
way.
Oh god, yeah.
But with that being said, we are finished. We covered every year of every decade from 1940 to 2019. All the
Wow.
best picture winners and the fan favorites those years. And you can see that the ratio of matching Best Picture winners to the fan favorites, like 90-10. It's like
Mhm.
90% of them were fan favorites, and only 10% or less matched with the actual Best Picture winners. So that
Well,
says
and
a
it
lot
goes
about the film community,
well,
what the
and but
people
it goes
actually
back
want, what
to
they
what I'm
like.
saying, though, is that the Academy my main thing is the Academy Awards, they're not r in my opinion, they're not a legitimate award system because they do center specifically only on one main category, and, most movies that are outside of that category will never even be truly considered. So to me, that's not really an objective award system, you know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
the
Um
Academy, they lost me many years ago. Um, but as the years goes on, I could see they're even more biased, and they're about as legitimate as the rock and roll Hall of Fame, whatever it is, because bands like Boston have not been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Styx, REO Speedwagon, Steppenwolf, reading the list right now, bands that have not been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where some rappers and pop stars have, especially Boston. Boston is one of the greatest classic rock bands of all time. That is a disgrace. They've been around for 50 years ago, is when their first
Mhm.
album released, 76. So that's why I
Well, and
just,
they were
yeah.
greatly loved in the time
Yes.
era that they were in. That's the other part of it that makes it like
What's
it's
the
like,
greatest selling,
really?
probably one of the best selling debut albums of all time?
Well,
Yeah.
God, these people are still loyal. I mean, look at Adam Sandler. Look at how many, like, Boston and Sticks and this and that songs that he always throws into his
But I could go into
movies.
music on a whole another podcast, all
Oh,
about
and we
music.
will. It's all falls
But
into
just
the same thing, but anyway, guys.
comparing apples to apples with the Academy and all these other any places that decide for you what you should like the
Mhm,
Academy or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Say, like, if they tell you enough, oh, this is what you should like, then they think people will believe it. They'll follow it. But no, in their hearts, people know which movie was the best.
mhm,
They know what should
and
have won.
and like I said, our reaction to movies, it's an emotional experience. When we react with movies and we fall in with movies and we dive into these movies,
Mhm.
this is why we love movies because we leave our world temporarily to go to another. I think this is why the fan favorites are so very different than what the Academy would pick
Mhm.
because these movies, they take us into other worlds and other universes, other places, and most of us don't wanna go into a depressing life, you know what I'm saying? To escape this life, we don't wanna go into into someone else's depression, you know? So, I think that but overall, movies are a very personal experience, and, like, I've told you guys some of the ones that I just don't like and why, but ultimately, if you love them. Hell yeah, because that's how you feel about it, and I completely respect everyone, their choice to fall in love with a movie, even if it's one I can't stand, because that's the great thing with movies, is they take us to where we need to go.
Yes. That's a great
So
way to wrap it up, and we
yeah.
know this is probably double the length of our average podcast,
It's
but
okay, we're making
since
up
we're
for last
2
week.
or 3 weeks behind, however many weeks behind, we thought we'd double up for you, get more bang for your buck, and we had a lot more to cover here. I wanted to
Yeah.
take our time,
Mhm.
discuss each year, each
Mhm.
decade
Mhm. Mhm.
thoroughly, and please give us your opinion, give us your feedback
Mhm.
on
Be
do you
respectful.
no, no, no. Yes, please be respectful to everybody, but let us know if you agree with the fan favorites that were chosen or the films
Mhm.
that won Best Picture by the Academy.
Mhm.
Let
Mhm.
us know
Yeah.
what some of your favorite films were, or if
Yeah.
there are any other topics that you'd like us to discuss in our podcast. We
Yeah.
appreciate that as well.
Yeah. Let us know, guys. All right. Well, we will see you guys next Tuesday and also see you at the movies. Don't forget to watch, like, share, subscribe. Check out our Patreon. It's Phoenix Rising Reacts, and we will see you next week.
Have a good one.